Well, hello and welcome back. And sorry if I look a bit dishevelled. I don't have the addition of the BBC makeup team, I'm sure, like they do on Gardener's World. But I'm here back on the allotment, and it's a few weeks since we've been here. I've had some trials and tribulations, like for anyone that remember the Far Show, and I did an unlucky elf the other day. I put my small wireless microphone in the washing machine and put the washing machine on, then suddenly realised, and by the time I got to it, it was a little bit, well, worse for wear, shall we say. So I've had to buy a new one, and that all took quite some time, but I digress. Yeah, I'm here back on the allotment, and I did say in my last email I'd give you a little bit of an update. Not there's an awful lot happened here, because I'm still doing battle with it and still very much enjoying it. That's the main thing. It's certainly not an easy plot. Today I've been setting some leeks that I've grown from seed, some leek plants. I put 2 rows there in of leeks, quite like leeks in the winter. And we'll see how they do. You know, it's just there again, it's something, you know, I've this piece of ground now, I must have gone over it with a fork probably 5, 6, 7 times, and I'll bring the bucket in and look, even today still, you know, I'm still, you'll see that if I lift it up there, probably will better. I'm still getting a huge amount of bindweed out of it. I think I am getting on top of it. There again, this is all kind of organic. I have not sprayed it. It's come very dry. We had a very, very dry spell here, and you know, it didn't like that. I think I've disturbed the roots, and you know, I've got a patch there that's come back with bindweed, and it's gone quite yellow with the dry, so you know, I can go back over that and then fork it out again. It's just a question of keep going at it, you know, and remove as much as you possibly can. Even the slightest little bit, you know, will grow. That is the problem. So yeah, I'll put some leeks on. I'll take the camera off the tripod and quickly show you the beans and potatoes, which are growing all right. The first row of potatoes got the blight, but you know, they were only early potatoes, so I'm going to dig those out anyway. I'm not looking at keeping the potatoes; they'll be used straight away. I mean, the thing about blight, you know, you should. There again, you can spray for it, but you know, in this instance, on this garden this year, this ground hasn't been cultivated ever as garden or even as farmland, so you know, it's whatever, you know, it's trial and error really to see what happens. And I mean, you can spray with all sorts of things. There's Bordeaux mixture, and I used to spray with copper sulphate years ago, I believe, but no, I haven't. Nothing's been sprayed. It's all organic. I am in the worst parts now, starting to spread. I've got some really, really well rotted farmyard manure, which I'm starting to build up on a very patch there that I've forked and forked and forked again to try and get rid of all the bindweed. And it's very clay there. Yeah, it kind of lies a bit low. I think when they stripped it, they probably took more topsoil off than they needed there too. So I'm building that up with some nice farmyard manure, and you know, hopefully try and get it at least cultivatable for next year. And you know, I mean, that's my goal now. Yeah, whatever comes off it, the beans and the potatoes are a little bit of a bonus this year, considering this allotment site only opened on the 4th of May. So you know, we're only 3 months, so it's quite good really. I'm quite pleased how it's going. So enough of me rambling on. I'll take the camera off the tripod and just show you a little bit. So there's the 2 rows of leeks that I've set. As I've raised those from seed, and they've been up at home, and I brought them today. And yeah, this side, I'm quite pleased with how this soil is working. As I say, it's just a question of keep, you know, even on your hands and knees, I have to get in even around those beans, which are doing okay. There again, there is some beans now setting on the lower ones, you know. Sadly, when I, you know, set them, it came very cold and windy, and they got blown about all over the place. But you know, if I zoom in there, I think hopefully you can. perhaps see that there's some, you know, some beans starting to set on them. And yeah, if we get a, you know, there's only 2 of us up at home, and you know, there should be a few beans there, hopefully. And as I say, my potatoes, they don't look too bad. You know, they're again, they're all earlies. You see, I've still got plenty of bindweed coming up in those, but there again, that's not too much of an issue. You know, when I lift them, I'm going to really give it another really good forking, and try and get as much out as I can this year, obviously, to give me, you know, it's still going to come back next year. That's something, if you've got one of these pernicious weeds like mare's tail, horsetail, which is even probably worse than bindweed, and bindweed, you know, it's not an overnight thing. It's a you know, slow process of elimination. So yeah, if we pan around, and you can see there, I've got virtually got the whole plot in some sort of cultivation now, and there's a big patch of bindweed there, as I say, which got very, very dried out, and as I say, slowed it down a bit. I'm trying, I can see some flowers there. I try and certainly go and break the flowers off, but I'm going to try and fork all that over relatively soon again. Like this bit, I'm working this bit. Quite stony up here, but don't mind about that. It's not, you know, I've got a really good spade's depth of soil underneath here, apart from the stones. I mean, you've got to remember that this was an ironstone quarry as well. So I've been given some strawberry plants that somebody bought for me, so I'm going to put those, I'm going to get those set here. And this is very much free of bindweed. There was no bindweed here, yeah, when I took the plot over. So yeah, I'm, you know, quite pleased with how it's progressing, as you can see. I mean, why I haven't done really many updates is because, as I did say in my last video, watching a guy bending down forking bindweed is not really exciting gardening, you know, and I suppose you could spray it, you know, you could, a lot of people, organic gardeners, if you don't like spraying it with Roundup, you know, you could flame gun it. But then again, it's going to still come back. You know, you're not going to kill it that way. The ideal way is to get as much of the root out as you possibly can, I think anyway, unless, if you've got any suggestions for removing bindweed or getting rid of bindweed, please do drop them in the comments. But that's the way I'm going at it. Like I said here, we're not allowed to put great swathes of plastic on our plots and cover it over and leave it. You know, you have to show that you are cultivating your plot. Obviously this first year they're going to give you, you know, plenty of discretion on that, because as I say, we've only took them over in May. But no, you're not allowed to, you know, cover great swathes of the plot in polythene. And even then, I believe, somebody was telling me, you know, you'd have to leave that for 9 months to a year to kill bindweed. And even then, apparently, bindweed seed can last up to 40 years in the soil. So you could take the cover off, and then, you know, next spring new seeds could germinate and, you know, start rooting away very quickly. So it's an ongoing issue that you've got to really try and just keep on top of, which I think I'm kind of doing at the moment. So there we go. That's a little update of the allotment. I'm going to, over there in that corner, or this corner where I've got a huge great pile of dug out bindweed there, which I don't really want to compost, although it isn't growing. I think it is dead, because there again it got so dried out in a really dry spell we had. I've still got the compost heap to build, and that will perhaps be the next video up here of me constructing that and having a chat about compost. And you know, that's one of the reasons several people have said to me, well, you know, why aren't you going down a no-dig route? Seriously, this ground is so hard, it's so panned hard, and as I say, with the bindweed issue as well, I mean, my understanding, and correct me there again if I'm wrong, if so, you know, what I've read a little bit, and I virtually did run a no-dig system on my last allotments. I got it so lovely at worked soil that all I used to do is put a layer of compost on and fork that in, and then go off and set, you know, the next year's crop into that. So if you like, that was like a no-dig, but you know, the way I see no-dig system is you perhaps lay some cardboard down, something that's going to, you know, biodegrade, and then put compost on the top, and then, you know, set your things through that. But I don't think you'd have any joy how the clay, you know, apparently no-dig doesn't necessarily work particularly well on clay soils like that. And as I say, the biggest problem here is it's so panned hard with never having been cultivated, having been walked over, having had cattle graze it for many years. We don't still know whether this was infilled, some of it, or run over with big machinery when some of it was infilled. So I shall keep going as I am and persevering with it. So as always, thanks for watching, and please like, comment. You know, how's your allotment going this year if you've got one? Have you taken a new allotment on? How are you getting on with it? And I'd love to hear, you know, your views and thoughts. And I should keep persevering on with it because I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and that to me is it's no matter how, you know, how well the stuff does or how well the vegetables do. That's an added bonus. It's the enjoyment factor, and it's somewhere to come, to get some exercise, you know, to be outdoors other than the garden at home. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the whole experience again, and to me that's, you know, so more important. It's nice to get some, you know, fresh veg off it as well, definitely. So anyway, until next time, my very best wishes, and wherever you are in the world, good gardening, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Until then, bye for now.